father, outstanding football coach in his own right. And we are underway. Brian Hill, Lisa Jones, Nina Norman are the officials in tonight's game. Once again, TCU wants to speed up the tempo. That's going to be hard, I think, for Texas State to handle. How do they do that?
They're going to have to fly around. You know, they like to be aggressive on the defensive end and get up and down, but it's just kind of a different beast, TCU, the pace that they're going at.
Jamia Harris can't get it. Here comes Madison Connor up ahead. Sedona Prince off the glass, little strong. Madison left wide open, and she makes him pay with her 11th three of the year.
And I said I want to see if she started off hot tonight, and she did. TCU jumped back into that press, already got a turnover and a score here early.
And here's that press. Keep an eye on Donovan Hunter, number 4 of TCU. She's an elite defender, but they are so big in the front of that press.
They are. She committed a foul right there. It said that she had her arm ball there. But, again, she has really high IQ, especially on that defensive end. So, you know, we're going to see her make that adjustment.
Just a sophomore out of Medford, Oregon. Started out at Oregon State. She's also pretty good offensively. She's 8th in the NCAA in assist-to-turnover ratio. Here's Texas State. Come in averaging 66 points a game. Opponents 66.5. They're 1-1 on the year. Whistle and a foul is going to be called. Crystal Smith, the senior out of Bastrop, Louisiana, on the drive. And the foul is going to be on Hunter. That'll be her second personal foul.
Let's take a look at that one right here. Haley got her hand on the ball, and they're saying that left hand made the contact right there, and that's what's sending Crystal Smith to the line. That's 2 early fouls for Donovan Hunter, but there's no substitution here at the bench, and so going to let her play through that.
Yep, and that's how young players learn. You know, you got to do it. Crystal Smith started out at Tarleton and Glenn College. Only averaged about 11 minutes a game last season, now in the starting role for Texas State. Mark Campbell said he wanted more three-pointers when they took on New Orleans, and they did. 54% of their shots were from 3. Madison Connor can't get her second. Haley Van Lith, the rebound. They set it back up in the corner. Taylor Bigby with her 4th 3 of the year.
After the game last time, Taylor Bigby said she's been trying to really work on affecting the game in other ways other than scoring. You see her offensive rebound then got them another possession, and then she scored. So if she continues to really give effort, she's really going to shine.
Well, Mark Campbell was telling me before the game, we're talking about bigs, as they like to call her. She's versatile, and she's a playmaker. First game, she was 1 of 7 shooting. Last game, 7 of 12. That'll be a whistle and a foul underneath. And you saw Bigby trying to make something happen. They're going to call that on Bigby. That will be her first personal foul.
You see right here on the offensive rebound, just kick it right back out to her, reward her for her effort. But looks like she got an offensive foul when she's trying to dump it off to Sedona. TCU's got to do a better job of not fouling.
Well, one of the things Coach Antoine was telling us is they've got to start out stronger. They have started out slowly, and you can't do that against TCU or anybody even in their conference. And the 3, nothing but the bottom of the net for Foster.
And we're going to see that a lot from Foster. She has range.
Foster, that's her 9th three-pointer made for the senior out of Austin, Texas. Here's Haley Van Lith, bronze medal winner, 3x3 in the Olympics. Her first shot, can't get it to go down. Rebound, Destiny Terrell.
Texas State likes to score in transition. You see getting a good shot there by Foster, who just knocked one down.
We don't talk about Madison Connor outside of maybe three-point shooting, but she is an outstanding rebounder. 4.5 boards a game. What makes that special, she can then link the break herself. Doesn't have to put it in anybody else's hands.
And, you know, just because she works so much on her playmaking abilities and reading, you know, she's making better decisions in those transitions.
Said it took a while last year to get used to the pick and roll offense. Pulls the trigger on the 3, hit her first, missed her last 2. Nice job by Hunter trying to keep it alive, and does. TCU will have it.
That was a little risky for Hunter. You already have 2 fouls there, and you can see right now they've kind of called it a little close. Luckily they didn't get her there. It just was out on the Texas State player.
Morgan Hill's going to check into the lineup for Texas State, wearing jersey 5, the senior out of Houston, Texas. Well, one of the things that Coach Antoine was telling us is that they've got to win the 50-50 balls to stay in this game. They didn't win that 50-50 ball. Haley Van Lith, nice pass, maybe a little low inside. That'll be a turnover. Here comes Smith running the point out front.
Texas State, they like to get downhill. You'll see right there, Smith put her head down to the paint.
Try to bang it inside. Rebound pulled away by Bigby. Averages 2 rebounds a contest. Out top, Bigby launches and drains the 3. Her second of the ball game.
Again, you said 1 for 7 in the first game. Last game, she had 17 points. And this one, when she finds her feet set and off the kick out, she's been knocking down those threes for TCU.
3 of the 4 baskets made by TCU have been from beyond the arc. A timeout's called. They lead by 7. Of Las Vegas had 3 double-figure games last year. She's got 1 this year, but she may have 2 tonight.
She's 2 from 2 from behind the 3. And again, when she sets her feet and get the kick out, that's when she's been knocking down her threes.
Well, she matched her career high in field goals made last game with the 7 we mentioned. This is a solid starting 5 for TCU. They all had double figures last game. And Coach Campbell saying on defense, we want the other team to feel us. And I think they do.
For sure, you know, when you speed teams up like they try to do you know, it's really tough for them on the offensive end, and especially knowing if you're going to jump back in the press as soon as you make the basket as well. Well,
in 2024, Destiny Terrell led Incarnate Word. Jeff Dow's team in rebounds, gets her first 2. Played high school ball not too far from here, Mansfield Summit. I love that. Let Sedona repost. She kicks it out. They repost her and get it back in. Can't finish it, though.
I want to see Sedona kind of take that next step and go through contact rather than the fadeaway.
Good point. That'll be a turnover. That'll be the 3rd turnover for Texas State in this ball game. TCU, they come into this game working on rolls. Coach told us last week that it takes about 7 games. As Aaliyah Robertson will check into the lineup, the junior out of San Antonio, Texas. Had a career year last season for the Horned Frogs. Ended up in the starting lineup. She's checked in. We are going to see Agnes Emanopu tonight for the very first game. She had a cut on her hand. They had to deal with it. Had it all wrapped up for the first couple of weeks, and now she's going to play tonight. Told me before the game she's anxious. Haley Van Lith buries the 3.
This beautiful basketball on the replay from Sedona. It's inside-out basketball, gets you wide open threes when you have such an elite scorer like Haley Van Lith on the 3.
Haley coming off her first career double-double against New Orleans. 13 points, career high 12 rebounds. Inside, Sedona may have gotten a piece of it. Sedona leads the NCAA in blocks. Here's Haley again. The 3.
Great box out there by Morgan Hill.
Blake Matthews comes up with it. Quickly up court. Jamia Harris, whistle and a foul is going to be called. But I like what Texas State is doing. They're not sitting back and, you know, kind of taking it easy. They want to go right at TCU.
Especially when you don't have them in the press. Off those missed baskets, they're trying to get up the floor as quick as they can and get downhill. Because once you let TCU set up, you know, they're able to use their length and their athletic ability to really shut you down. And so you can't let them get set up in that.
Una Jovanovic is checked into the lineup for the Horned Frogs, number 5, the senior out of Santa Clara, California. Started out at Cal State Fullerton, and last year we talked about it, and I think we're seeing it even more this year with Una. The transition from Cal State, nothing against them, to the Big 12 and TCU. At times last year, she was adjusting. This year, she has adjusted.
No, for sure, and she got a lot of playing time last year, and so she had to step up. But, you know, from last year to this year, just her confidence in self has grown and, you know, made her more comfortable on the floor.
Well, she had 100 assists last year, second most in TCU history. I just like her confidence. Spending some time with her prior to the last game. She just is really going to enjoy this season. Here's Haley Van Lith. Thought about the three. Madison's looking for Prince. They go to the other side. Here's Van Lith with 12 to shoot. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Nice pass, Haley Van Lith to Sedona Prince.
She has incredible vision. It was a busted up play right there, but then again, you're still looking for 6-7 in the paint, knowing that the shot clock is winding down.
Oh, Haley averages 6.5 assists a ball game. Preseason Big 12 newcomer of the year coming into 2025 season. Playing in front of family tonight, I understand. They're up in the stands. Foul's going to be on Jovanovic. That'll be her first personal foul. And at the line, it's going to be Blake Matthews, the junior out of Houston, Texas. Started her career at Bucknell. Got a lot of playing time in their last game versus Texas A&M Corpus Christi. They dropped that contest. Didn't play a whole lot in game one, more in game two. Those are her first free throws of 2024-25. Lead is 7. Robertson rolls it around the edge. No, couldn't get it. Sanaya Burks, the freshman, with the rebound.
Again, really trying to beat TCU so they can't set up in that half-court defense.
Nicole Leff is checked into the lineup for Texas State. Agnes Eminopu is going to make an appearance for the first time this season. Madison Connor is going to go out. What a year Agnes Eminopu had. Already graduated from Stanford. She did it in 3.5 years, or 3 years in neuroscience. Last year, her first year at TCU, she was the backbone of this team.
She really was. She contributed on so many ends. Her rebounding ability, her three-point shooting ability. She was just a steady constant for TCU all season long.
I was kidding her before the game. I said, you know, a lot of people would be a little anxious, but this isn't your first game. And she goes, no. She goes, I want to play. I understand I'm a little anxious, but it's another first game. Van Lith being hounded. Tries to make a move inside on Bayman and does.
Again, just trying to draw that contact and able to finish with that right hand. Just a really beautiful play there by Van Lith.
This is what TCU does so well. They hold you to long scoring droughts. Texas State, they haven't hit a field goal in 3:20 now.
And again, that's a part of the transfers and them just trying to figure it out. They've got to have a leader on the floor to step up and kind of get everybody regrouped and let them know, hey, we haven't scored in this amount of time. We've got to get a basket.
And as Coach Antoine was telling us, you have 10 new players. It's going to take a while. The drought continues. Van Lith, that'll be a travel.
I think she saw Agnes coming on that left-hand side, and she was going to pass that. They got her with a little quick step. Oh, yeah. It happens.
Here's the press. Texas State also is expected to press. Not sure how much. But this is a team, Texas State, building chemistry. And with that comes, this should be a TV show, Growing Pains.
For sure. They run a 2-2-1 press as well. The same thing that TCU is running.
Nice play. Haley Van Lith picks the pocket. Euro step, stops. They're going to call that a basket or a travel? They're going to call it a travel.
Yeah, they called it a travel, but she did not put that left foot down. She held it.
Well, you be the judge. Nope, not now. .220 to play here in the opening quarter. Glad you're with us. Heather Bayman out of Phoenix, Arizona, the freshman. She's a scorer. Coach Antoine was just definitive on that. That she can light up the scoreboard. Had 13 in her first game for Texas State. Shot clock at 3. The pull-up off the mark. Agnes Eminopu with a rebound. Averaged over 7 rebounds a game last season for the Horned Frogs. Haley Van Lith for 3.
Texas State has got to take advantage right now. There's a lid on the basket for Texas State. They're getting some good looks in the paint. That's exactly what they're wanting. They've got to finish.
0 for their last 6 and 1 of their last 9, Texas State. 1:33 to play in the first. Whistle and a foul is going to be called. Madison Connor will check back into the lineup, as will Taylor Bigby for TCU. Melinda Winston will come into the lineup for Texas State. They're missing one of their main players, Mia Galbraith. The sophomore out of Sunshine Coast, Australia, played last year for Oklahoma State. She is injured. That's a big loss for them.
Yeah, that's a big loss because she's just a solid player. She attacks the basket, can shoot a 3, rebounds for them, and so that is definitely a missing piece of their team.
Jovanovic, no. Yamanopu can't come up with a rebound as we close into 1:15 to play here in the opening 10. That is Winston, just a freshman out of Houston. You don't see too many D1 teams with this many freshmen on a roster like Texas State.
You know, when the transfer portal is available, you know, you want to get somebody with a little more experience than you do at the freshman level. So it is definitely something different in this day and age.
TCU hasn't scored in 2.5 minutes, but they're helped by the fact that Texas State is 0 for their last 7. Jovanovic into the corner.
And that's what Texas State wanted them to do. They wanted them to have to take a second and think. And you see TCU's continuing to make passes. But when you have somebody like Madison Connor on your team, there's nothing to worry about.
No, not a bit. You leave her open, they're going to make you pay. Second to Caitlin Clark last year in 3-pointers made. And tonight, she's 2 of 4. Coming off that 9 3-pointers made in the last contest. She had 10 in a game last year. Final 7 seconds, and Texas State throws it away. TCU with their biggest lead of the game. They have a chance to increase it over the final 5.6.
Texas State has to get in their grill and see the time, know that there's 3-point shooters all on the floor.
Madison launches from way downtown, little strong. And that's the way the first half is going to come to an end. Well, Jada, Madison Connor not disappointing us tonight.
Not at all. She's showing up once again, those shots.
I think for Texas State right now, ball movement has to be a key for them.
They're letting TCU dictate what they do, and they have to be the aggressors on the offensive end.
Well, Texas State at their best when they do move the basketball, and Coach was telling us they've got to trust the offense and believe there's going to be another good shot coming. Trying to get in the paint. Prince pulls down the rebound. Here is Bigby. Already with a couple of threes, 8 points, 3 for 3 shooting here in the early going.
Texas State did a good job of stopping that early offense for TCU and having them have to get in that pick and roll that ends up in a turnover.
How about Jalen Foster, her 7th steal of the season? A little hesitation. Sedona Prince with a rejection, her 2nd of the ball game. And that's going to be an offensive foul against TCU. How about Sedona? 13 blocks already this year.
And making her presence known in the paint. You got to know if you come in here, it's going to be tough. See right there, just palms it. And I love when you can get a block and keep it in bounds and,
Exactly.
you know, get to get on offense from it rather than just hitting it out of bounds.
61 blocks last year for Sedona Prince. A bunch of preseason watch lists for Sedona Prince, for Haley Van Lith. And the turnover forced. Here's Bigby. Van Lith wide open.
And that's another thing that they're working on in their press, TCU, is that even though they missed the shot, still falling back into that press. It doesn't only have to be on a made field goal.
Texas State only shooting 23% in the early season here. They take 22, but they only make 5. Not their bread and butter at this point. Boy, Sedona working hard on that block. They finally find her, get it up to her. Nice pass.
Really good pass there by Madison Connor. Again, finding really good reads off the pick and roll. They're icing Sedona, so forcing her to slip, but they're bringing backside early or over early. So, again, TCU just got to make those reads.
Madison Connor, outstanding, dishing the basketball, averaging 6 assists a game so far this season. Thought about the threes. Spin move, try to get away from Sedona. She pulls down, rebound number 3. Boy, they were looking for Madison. Haley Van Lith saw her. It was open. Bigby inside, got it. Bigby a perfect 4 of 4 shooting. She's got 10, her second double-digit game of the year.
And I love how the offensive foul didn't deter her for continuing to attack the basket.
Coming into this year, she had only 8 double-digit games in her career.
And just attacking the seams and stepping through so she doesn't get that another offensive foul.
Well, she's growing in a number of areas, Taylor Bigby is, including her leadership role on this team. They're going to throw it away. Hunter makes sure nobody gets it. That'll be the 8th turnover for Texas State in this game. More than half Coach Antoine's team is averaged this year. They only averaged 14.5.
Yeah, they did a good job in their first 2 games of taking care of the ball. And so, again, that defense that TCU has is really just kind of making them a little loose with it.
Madison lost it. Texas State comes up with it. Now, they've had to kind of adjust their play this year because they're using their bench more this season. They're going to play 11 to 15 players, and finally, they get their 3rd field goal of the game.
And downhill there for Smith in the paint. That's where they want to score. And like you were saying, having so many people just kind of trying to figure out rotations as well and see what's sticking.
Whistle and a foul is going to be called. And that'll be on Jalen Foster. That'll be her 2nd personal foul. Nicole Leff comes back into the lineup. So Foster has to sit down with her 2nd. Now they keep the pressure on. TCU forcing over 30 turnovers a game in their first 2 contests. The 3 from the outside by Smith, nothing but air.
And when you know you're really athletic, you know, like TCU is, you still got to stick down to your fundamentals. Sedona missed a backside box out, allowed Texas State to get another opportunity on that offensive board. You know, you've still got to do those little things, you know, for this game to get the win in this game, but also you play number 13 NC State on Sunday. Those fundamentals are going to be important. North
Carolina State made it to the Final Four last season. On the drive, Donovan Hunter. TCU picked 4th in the Big 12, their highest preseason ranking in 13 seasons. This is game 3 of a 6-game homestand. Up ahead to Hunter off the glass, got it.
Beautiful finish there by Hunter. Was able to get around the contact. Jamia Harris went up trying to block that.
Dump it down inside. Jovanovic will check back into the lineup. TCU will have the basketball. How about Donovan Hunter? Got her 12th career double-figure game against New Orleans. Trying to get another. She's going to get a little bit of a breather. I like the way Coach Campbell mixes and matches lineup. He's got a lot of talent at his disposal.
He really does, and you've got to have everybody be comfortable, you know, playing with different lineups and not expect it. I'm the first 5 or whatever the case may be.
Madison Connor for 3, splash!
I saw her, she had her Dr. Pepper from McDonald's before the game.
Did.
That is why she's hitting those threes.
And you know, the first game, she didn't have it.
Exactly.
And she struggled. Whistle and a foul, that'll be on Haley Van Lith.
TCU as well as Texas State haven't really adjusted to the officials. See Madison Connor knocking it down, but neither one of the teams have adjusted to how tight they're calling the game. They're kind of being ticky-tack, which that's fine, but you've still got to make those adjustments, which I don't feel like either side has done so.
Well, Lisa Jones, an outstanding official, officiated Final Four games. Very fair official. Here's Matthews. Oh, nice quick move inside. Agnes comes over to cover. Not quick enough.
And really good job there by Texas State of taking advantage of that.
TCU on a 7-0 run, and we're going to get a timeout on the floor. 4:57 to play in the opening half, and the Horned Frogs lead it by 21. Came back.
Yeah, they have 5 returners, and so 10 newcomers, 4 are freshmen, which we kind of hit on, as well as 6 transfers, and you'll see the transfer that they have right now. They're struggling in this game today. Right now, they're only 3 for 19, and so they've got to get some offense. Blake Matthews, one of the transfers from Bucknell, having opportunity to add to the board here at the free throw line.
You know, Coach Zenere Antoine and I were talking, and I've known her for a while, and talking about the culture of this team, and you talked to her about it, and she said gritty. This team is passionate about winning and passionate with each other.
Yeah, you know, especially when you have those newcomers, they've spent a lot of time of getting to know each other and being comfortable, and so just having that translate onto the floor.
Here comes TCU. They've hit 5 of their last 7 field goal attempts. Robertson tried to go backdoor. Van Lith lost it. Tied up. Possession arrow belonged to the Horned Frogs.
Just that second effort from Haley to be able to try and get that possession. Looks like TCU has possession, so they're going to get another opportunity, a baseline out of bounds play.
Like Coach Campbell talking about, he's looking for growth in all the players coming into this game. Says it's about us. How about that? Robertson drains the 3. Her first field goal made tonight.
And we talked a lot about confidence, you know, from Una, but she's another one, Aaliyah, is if she got a lot of playing time last year, and it built her confidence seeing that the ball go through the basket.
Last year she hit 31 from beyond the arc. Coach Campbell saying get your hands up in the air, play some defense. Wants him to go, as we mentioned, full tilt on defense. With 4 on the shot clock, banging it home. Nice job by Jamia Harris. Started out at Kansas State, got injured, didn't play a whole lot.
We asked her coach, you know, what's one word to describe each of the players, and for Harris, she said tough. You'll see right there, she was able to finish through contact. Again, try and get her team a little bit momentum here.
Well, Jamia Harris getting her first start tonight. Came off the bench the first 2 games. Haley Van Lith can't get the bounce to go. Rebound pulled away by Leff. 3:35 to play here in the opening half. The lead is 21. TCU coming off that 50-plus point victory over New Orleans a couple of days ago. Robertson, Haley on one side. Leans in, whistle, and the foul.
And TCU's really focusing on pace. You'll see right there, as soon as Aaliyah was able to steal the ball, Haley got to running for Aaliyah to find her again and draw the contact to get herself to the free throw line.
You know, getting to know Haley Van Lith has been a real pleasure. How hard she has worked. Growing up in Washington, trained 4 or 5 nights a week with her dad, who's at the game tonight. Said she wanted to kind of model her game after Diana Taurasi. Not too bad to model your game after her.
Yeah, not too bad at all. And, you know, Coach Mark Campbell said her work ethic has elevated everyone else's. One thing that you can say about Diana Taurasi, her work ethic, you know. And so wanting to model it after that is not bad at all.
So doing the WNBA the last almost decade, watching Taurasi warm up is as much fun as watching a game. Pull-up jumper buried. 37-16, final 3 minutes here in the first half. And all those great players have a routine, and they stick to it.
You got to do what makes you feel your best coming into the game.
And Haley's got that routine. Agnes, no place to go. Sedona Prince will check back into the lineup. Here is Haley, pulls the trigger, buries it. That's a 2.
Beautiful, beautiful move. And just that one-on-one basketball, you see that a lot in the 3v3 that she, you know, won a medal in this past summer. Just being able to create for herself.
Leads all D1 guards in points. Currently active, Haley does. A little behind the back. Season opening, dishes, Madison. The crowd expects every one of those to go down. You can hear the oohing and on. Back out, Una. Agnes, offensive rebound.
Yeah, when you've got somebody like Agnes on the inside, you're going to get a bunch of opportunities. You'll see right there continuing to pursue the basketball.
You talked about it briefly, but what Agnes Emanopu does, she's a battler. She's a winner, and she just battles on the boards. We saw that last season when she averaged over 7 rebounds a game.
And she's just really steady for TCU. You know exactly what you're going to get when she's on the floor.
25 straight games she's had double figures coming into this contest. Might not see a whole lot of time tonight. First game back after injuring that finger. And here comes TCU. Agnes up ahead. Haley Van Lith stops. Oh, nice ball fake inside. Counted. Van Lith in double figures with 11.
And that works because you have to respect her three-point shooting ability. So you have to sell out hard. But then she's so crafty, and she's on that left-hand side, and she's a lefty. So just a beautiful finish.
19 points to 2,000 career points for Haley Van Lith. And Texas State will answer, and Mark Campbell saying just hurry up, push it as we hit the 1 minute mark of the second. You know, going to TCU practice, you see how hard they work. Their practices are full tilt. Agnes Emanopu with her first 3 of the ball game. Hit 60 of them last year.
And that's what she does. Like you said, hit 60 of them last year. She's really comfortable behind that red three-point line here at TCU.
And that's going to get the call. TCU forcing the turnover. How about Agnes again from the 3?
The ball touching the paint. Una finding her teammate. And again, just first game back, seeing that go through really does build your confidence.
You know, she impacts the game offensively and defensively. Haley Van Lith will go out of the lineup. Sedona stops, pops, rolls it around and down for her 6th point.
That short corner area is really where she shines.
Last year, Sedona the first TCU player to lead the Big 12 in scoring. There's that pressure. TCU getting hands on the ball. Shot clock and game clock at 15.
Coach Z yelling, pull it back. You know, that's, again, the leadership that she's trying to do, get on the floor.
Harris dumps it down on the inside, stepping out of bounds. TCU will have it with 1.9 to play in the half, and they've hit 3 of their last 3 shots.
And another thing that Coach Z was saying, they're trying to just still figure it out. She's yelling one shot. You know, when you have a leader on the floor, just to know exactly, you know, that's what needs to happen coming towards the end of a quarter.
TCU has hit more 3-pointers than field goals made by Texas State.
3 shots. She was 1 for 3. She doesn't have any rebounds. She averaged 14.5. points per game as well as 8.5 rebounds. And so they're just got to try to get her back in the flow of things.
She was such an outstanding defensive player when she played at Western Kentucky. She was there 2 years. She was on All-Conference USA defense and Conference USA All-Tournament team.
Texas State runs a pick and roll as well. TCU able to bust that up and force a turnover.
You know, I know coaches keep it. I'd like to see the stat on how many times TCU touches the ball when an opponent has it, because they just had like 3 or 4 there.
Yeah, getting those hands on the balls and the deflections, those are things that, they stat. Coach Mark Campbell likes to stat his practices so they can really see exactly where they are in different areas.
There's Coach Campbell. Understands that this team has got a lot of potential. TCU this season, they've only trailed for 44 seconds in their first 2.5 games.
And they've been doing really well on the offensive end, but one thing that Coach Mark Campbell said is, the question is, can we become a gritty, tough, hard-nosed team defensively as well as rebound? Because that's going to be the difference maker. On the offensive end, you've got so many playmakers and dynamic scorers that, the defensive end is really going to be the key.
Well, they already forced the 13th turnover by Texas State. They've got 14 points already off the Bobcat turnovers. Boy, when Connor gets it, she draws 3 people towards her, opens up the far side, and the 3 is buried. Donovan Hunter with the 3. She's got 7 in the ball game.
And she's coming alive on that offensive end. Other than being a facilitator, she's just finding her groove as well. And
they force another turnover. Here comes Bigby. Boy, Madison Connor was spotting up near side, bottom of your screen. Didn't get it to her.
But I like the decision to pull it out and get a high-quality shot versus forcing something to play fast. Foster
had good, quick hands to kind of deflect it, but the 3 goes down by Bigby. Her 3rd of the ball game. She's got 13.
That inside-out basketball. TCU's hitting shots when it touches the paint and the defense collapses, and then they're knocking down those wide-open shots.
And Madison Connor, obviously a great offensive player, but she's a pretty good decoy, too.
Because she draws so much attention, and you have to respect her, especially throughout this game. TCU has been, kicking it from one side of the floor to the other.
Bigby hasn't missed a shot. 5 of 5. Sedona Prince with a rejection. That's her 3rd. Ends up with Donovan Hunter with a layup.
And that is a beautiful pass there by Taylor Bigby. The bounce pass up the floor went right past the defender.
Bigby averages 2.5 assists a game. Tied her career high in assists last game with 4, but when you have a shot blocker, it leads to a lot.
I love that pass. She put exactly where she was going, not where she was.
Good call on that. Here's Heather Bayman once again. She was All-State Texas.
They're running Foster off the 3-point line because they know that's exactly what she wants to do. She does a little one dribble and up with her left hand.
And the rejection by Hunter. And Van Liv dives for the ball. The foul's going to be called against Texas State. That'll be against Sierra Dixon. How about Donovan Hunter, though, coming up with a big-time rejection? That's her 2nd of the year.
And hands were straight up, no question about it. Being able to palm that ball and get it in there to Haley.
TCU with 4 blocks already in the ball game.
TCU running some offense. Little set play.
Connor for 3. Nice defense, though, by Texas State. Jamia Harris got her hand on it. Ends up in a layup. That's the Jalen Foster we've been waiting for.
And the Texas State that likes what they like to do is really get out in transition, put it exactly where Jalen needed it on that left-hand side.
You think about Jalen Foster, she really didn't start basketball until high school. That is amazing.
That is such amazing. In this day and age, that's kind of unheard of. And to be the elite player that she is thus far.
Jalen Foster's been in double figures both of their games so far this season. Came in averaging 14.5. Van Lith in the corner. Bigby, 4-3, buries it again. Her 4th of the ball game, 1 off her career high of 5.
And she's shooting 100% from behind the line. She's just really, really patient and finding high-quality shots out of their offense.
Bigby last year averaged just 4.8. She was a three-point shooter, though, last year. 75% of her shots were threes, and Texas State going in on the inside, and quickly Coach Campbell going, hurry. That's going to be an offensive foul on Sedona Prince.
I didn't see what happened from my angle.
Well, the broadcast position here, we have the coaching staff and officials standing in front of us. So sometimes we lose our sight line, as we like to say.
Oh, yeah, Foster was already set, and Sedona just ran right through her. It's a clear foul right there.
For Sedona Prince, that's her first personal foul. In the first 2 games, she had a total of 2 personal fouls, which that kind of shocked us both.
Yeah, she's doing a really good job of really affecting shots in the paint, blocking shots without fouling.
Dixon has to give it up. Dixon gets it back, got it right in the tunnel. Dixon gets her 2nd field goal of the ball game, but the lead is still big. 37's been the biggest lead for TCU. Texas State has never led in this game. But Texas State has hit their last 3 field goal attempts, and that goes back to what Coach Armstrong was telling us. You got to trust the offense. You'll get the shots.
You know, and that's not going one-on-one, and that's just, you know, getting through it, making the defense have to guard you the full shot clock.
And Dixon's going to come out. Committed her 2nd personal foul. And Bigby's going to go out. And Aaliyah Robertson will check back into the lineup. She had so much to learn, Robertson, last year. She had never played the middle of the zone until last season. Boy, she adapted well.
Yeah, she adapted well. Her length, you know, and her ability to guard, you know, and just using that length really did help her on the zone and in that defensive end of the floor.
Well, Jalen Foster just picked up her 3rd, Jada.
Coach Z wanted to know kind of what the reasoning for the foul is. It looks like it was body-to-body contact by Foster.
Here is Sedona Prince, comes in, leading the NCAA in blocks, 24 years old. Ties Deasia Merrill of TCU for the oldest player on this team with 24. And by the way, TCU is the oldest D1 team.
Yeah, at the start of the season, the average age was 21 years and 11 months. And it's because COVID happened, and so people are getting that COVID year, that extra year.
I think the TCU's older than the Dallas Wings of the WNBA were this year on the average age.
Yeah.
I think it is.
And they've got a lot of experience on the floor. And I'm excited to see how that translates throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, and you look at the number of wins that these players that play for TCU and Coach Campbell now, it's impressive. It's something like 65, 67% of their games they've won. At the line here is Jamia Harris, Lancaster, Texas. Boy, what a career she had at DeSoto High School. Won the 6A title back in 2022. What was even more impressive, she was the MVP. DeSoto's got a little bit of a history of basketball.
I mean, they know what they're doing just a little bit.
Yeah.
Went on to play for K-State and Jeff Mitty, my old coach.
And if you go to K-State and play for Coach Mitty, you're going to be tough.
For sure.
And you're going to play defense.
Exactly. He runs that 2-3 zone, you X out and everything, you know. Really, really great basketball coach.
We've got a timeout. Halfway through quarter number 3, TCU on their way to a perfect record to start the season. All right, Schollmeyer Arena on the campus of TCU. Horned Frogs lead it 59-25. Coach Campbell's team has shared the basketball again tonight. We see a look Texas State only 4 assists, but they've only made 9 field goals today.
Yeah, TCU with 17 assists on their 40 field goal attempts, 22 of those made. Man, just really good job of sharing the love.
And they're getting a lot of their assists also from their scores. That's what's also impressive to me.
Because you want to find a high-quality shot, you know, and it might not be with you. We know you can make that shot, but does your teammate have a better shot? Just like that.
That's a better shot. That's a better three. Madison Connor with her 4th from beyond the arc. Already with 14 made threes this season.
Haley Van Lith, she can make that left-handed contested layup, but again, finding a wide-open Madison Connor who's hot from the three-point line.
How about Madison Connor? She's got 11 games of 5 or more three-pointers made. She's 1 away from upping that one more. Shot clock at 3. Shot clock at 2. Sedona Prince with a rejection. Her 5th block of the ball game and 16th of the season.
And the TCU guards were really up in the Bobcats' face. So once, you know, they had to go take a shot, you still got 6-7 in the paint that you have to get around. And she's not allowing that to happen.
Sedona Prince 2 points away from continuing her streak of double-figure games, which is at 23 right now. Beautiful pass inside. Haley Van Lith just threaded the needle for her 5th assist.
Just finding Robertson there, and she could have went up on the left-hand side, but shielded herself off and went up on the right-hand side, so it didn't get contested.
Aaliyah Robertson now with 5 points in the ball game as we hit the 3:30 mark of the 3rd. Burks, no place to go. Texas State will have it, 9 to shoot. And Crystal Smith will check back into the lineup.
Smith started the game off well. She was really getting downhill and attacking the basket, and that's what Texas State needs.
Sanaya Burks will go out. This is where Coach Antoine's looking for execution in the closing seconds of the shot clock.
And they're not aware of it right now.
Nobody was saying anything to make Blake Matthews aware of the shot clock. I didn't hear anybody yelling.
And that's your point guard's responsibility, to know time and score at all times and make sure that your team on the floor knows time and score.
Now you got to give it back to TCU that's hit their last 3 field goal attempts. Boy, when Sedona gets her position and does her work early, she had the position, didn't get the shot to go though. Little hesitation and the turnover. That'll be the 18th.
Icing those ball screens, making Sedona pop, but she's capable from 15 out.
Robertson drops down the 3. The 13th three-pointer made by TCU tonight.
And we talked about, you know, picking your poison. When Madison Connor had the ball, you have to respect her in her 3-layer scoring, but again, just found her teammate in the corner wide open.
Aaliyah had only hit 1 3-pointer in the first 2 games of the season. I remember that game last year where she had 23 versus BYU. We know she could be a big-time scorer. School record for 3-pointers made is 18. That was done back in 2017 for TCU. They have 13 now. That record could get shattered.
We have a whole nother quarter to go.
Final 150. TCU on an 8-0 run. Texas State has missed their last 5 shots. Look at Haley Van Lith, the way she looks right, looks left. That prayer won't be answered. And TCU will have it. Taylor Bigby will check back into the lineup. What a game Taylor Bigby is having.
She's really coming alive today. Again, I think getting more comfortable. You know, this is her first season with the Frogs, and so just really kind of trying to carve out her role.
Bigby back in the lineup, has not missed a shot, 6 for 6, 4 of 4 from 3. And that won't hit anything.
Coach Mark Campbell is in front of us right now saying, that's okay, keep shooting. Those are shots that you want from an elite scorer like Haley Van Lith.
And you know, you go to their practice, and he was actually talking to us about it before the game. They shoot a lot in practices. I mean, it's just shot after shot after shot, and it's a high-intensity practice.
Yeah,
it's fun to watch.
For sure, you know, and that's why he's comfortable with them taking those shots in this game, because he knows that they work on and they put in the work and they knock down those shots.
Nice defense. Una Jovanovic pestering the basketball. That's going to be off Texas State.
TCU's done a really good job of their, one-on-one matchup defense without fouling in the second half. In the first half, they were getting those touch fouls, but they've definitely made the adjustment.
Well, you've held Texas State scoreless the last 4 minutes. No basket. Whistle and the foul. And here's that foul again.
Oh, yeah, it looks like she just pushed her with the left arm before the shot.
Takira Ramey commits the foul. Back to Haley. Surveys, draws the double, kicks it out. Robertson buries the three. How about the game Aaliyah Robertson's having tonight?
And I think one thing that people don't really notice about what's going on with TCU's pick and roll is they're doing a pick and roll on one side, but they've also got action going on the other side. So you can't just sit and help defense. And that's why they get wide open threes.
Aaliyah 3 points in the first half, 8 in the second half. 25 to play here in the third. Nice defense, Horned Frogs. I tell you, Una Jovanovic did a nice job of not letting anybody get down the baseline. 19 to play in the quarter. 11-0 run by the Horned Frogs.
TC working on that execution.
Haley Van Lith. The floater with a left hand, got it.
That late game execution is something that they're really trying to tighten and fine tune like we talked about in the open.
TCU ends quarter number 3 on a
to where she can be. And so she said it's been uncomfortable and learning to be uncomfortable, but to unlock her full potential. And we see that on display tonight.
And she's one off her career high of 5 3-pointers made. Lisa Jones calls the foul. That's going to be getting a little handsy. And TCU will have it. Una Jovanovic on the inside. Last game, TCU had 16 3-pointers made, the most in Mark Campbell era. The TCU school record is 18, and right now TCU's got 14, and they continue to add to their lead. Can they get their second straight 100-point game? I think that's going to be a little tough.
You think so? I think it's a good chance. They've really been, pushing it on the offensive end. They're not trying to, milk the clock or anything like that.
You need to get a promotion where you get like tacos or something for 100 points. Ball belongs to TCU. Mass substitution by Texas State. Jamia Harris will come back into the lineup. Also Jalen Foster coming in. She's playing with 3 personal fouls. Again, Texas State without Mia Galbraith out with an injury. Saw her briefly sitting down in the sweats.
And I think that's definitely hurt for the Bobcats because she's, really capable on the offensive end, and that's what they're lacking at this point.
4 seconds left on the shot clock. No place to go. They get it off. That'll be a shot clock violation. And TCU does it again.
I think that's their 3rd shot clock violation.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that one they started to yell out, so she was more aware, but nobody made themselves available to try to, get the ball from her and get a shot up.
TCU 30-4 non-conference wins here inside the Schollmeyer Arena. Horned Frogs got their 600th school win last game. Rebound knocked around. Texas State comes up with it. Texas State last year 14-18. This year they're picked 10th in the Sun Belt Conference. James Madison picked number 1. TCU will bring back 3 starters. Agnes Emanopu thought she had the block, got the foul instead.
That's really good initial defense by Agnes. Harris really does love that spin move, and I'm sure that that's something that was on the scout because I've seen it twice thus far tonight. But yeah, that initial block, but it was the second opportunity that she hit her on the arm, and Harris, again, really just sticking with it, getting herself to the free throw line because that's something that Texas State likes to do. They haven't done it tonight.
Good to see Agnes Emanopu again making her debut again. She had a cut on her finger. I think it kind of became infected, and you can see a little bandage on it. Had a great season last year. 54% of her shots were threes, but such a presence offensively and defensively. You see the scoring run by the Horned Frogs. Madison thought about it. They showed the double to Prince. Here's Bigby. Van Lith lets it fly. No. Nice box out. Good rebound by Jalen Foster.
Yeah, really good box out there by Foster. That is only her first rebound. Again, she hasn't played that much because of the foul trouble.
How about that? Taking it right to Sedona Prince is Morgan Hill, the senior out of Houston.
She's able to use her length over Sedona.
I like that. Checking in, Heather Bayman will come into the lineup. But you like that. That's not going to be intimidated by 6'7".
Yeah, you've got to attack her. There's no other way, you know, because she's not going anywhere. So you've got to figure out a way to score on her or draw a foul.
Well, this is an athletic Texas State team thrown away into the hands of Bayman. Only the 9th turnover for TCU. Sorry, Jen.
Yeah, no, TCU able to get that back. Again, for the mistakes that they are making, they're still just, you know, getting those 50-50 balls and trying to make it positive.
Heather Bayman stands 5'8". She tried to double 6'7" Sedona Prince. Guess who won? You get 2 guesses.
I'm going to say Sedona for 5,000.
There you go. Correct, Alex. Just about 3 minutes gone by here in the 4th. TCU again on Sunday afternoon will be playing North Carolina State. Currently ranked 13th in the country. Went to the Final Four last season. Need to come out and see that game live. It's going to be a good one. In the corner, Sedona can't get it, but Donovan Hunter does. Up ahead, Haley Van Lith. Count the basket and a foul. Haley's got 17 tonight.
50-point deficit right now for the Bobcats. Transition has really been favorable for the Frogs. And again, that's something that they're just continuing to work on. Horned Frogs are just one of 4 teams with multiple games versus preseason AP top 10 teams. They're going to play host to North Carolina State. I think December 8th, they're going to host national champions South Carolina.
Their schedule is brutal. Of course, they play Notre Dame down the Cayman Islands too, but that is unbelievable. I love Haley Van Lith's stat line. Number 1, she's efficient shooting the basketball, but she has 5 rebounds and 7 assists.
That means you're impacting the game in more ways than one.
TCU will have it, 6:24 to play. And it's interesting that Mark Campbell has played a lot of players the first 2 games. Hasn't so much tonight. Sticking with kind of their core group of 8 or 9.
Yeah, and I think it's because, you know, in the first 2 games, you're kind of trying to figure out rotations and see who plays well with each other.
Agnes Emanopu drops down her second 3 of the night.
Really happy that she came in and making an impact in her first game back after being so consistent last year.
On the last 2 years, TCU 16-4 when they hit at least 9 threes. They've hit 15 tonight. 31 3-pointers made the last 2 games. Texas State, nice defense. Madison Connor, look at Hunter running the floor. Can't catch up to it. Boy, she was quick.
Yeah, she almost had it. It was a little A little far there, thrown by Madison Connor, but if anybody was going to catch it, it's probably going to be Donovan Hunter.
Boy, that was impressive the way she ran the floor. TCU going to keep the pressure on. A lot of people say you're up this much, you're on a 7-0 run, why put the pressure on? But it's very simple. You got to get ready for what's coming up.
Exactly, and like you said, kind of the short bench tonight. And so, people kind of have worked out and shown what they can do, once the lights are on and in game time, because they've had lots of practice, but still trying to figure out the rotations, and it looks like he's gotten them kind of figured out.
That time he'll try to get inside. Sedona Prince won that battle. Lift. Nice pass inside, and Haley Lift gets her 8th assist of the ball game. Check that, her 9th assist of the ball game. Well, when you have a scorer that can also dish like that.
I love that Sedona has her hands ready, because, you normally would throw that up high for her, but she's ready for those little duck passes.
Already a season high in assists. And a career high in assists for Haley Van Lith. She got her new career high last game. Now she has a new career high with 9 in this game. She's got a chance at her 2nd straight double-double. Only needs 1 more assist, and she'll get it. TCU's hit their last 4 shots. The lead is 53. 4:31 left to play.
Drop off from LSU to her Olympic, time in the summer. And so she's really just gelling right in.
Well, that'll be a 5-second call. Haley and I were talking before the last game about the Olympic experience, and, having been able to go to, I think, 5 of them and cover them, it's very tedious and long. It's fun, don't get me wrong. And she said, yeah, but there's a lot to do when you're at the Olympic Games. She goes, the games were enjoyable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not just a ha-ha fun and games a lot of the time.
Oh, yeah. And she was the only collegiate player, to be competing. And so it was really good for her as well as the university.
Closing in on 4 minutes to play. Dump it down inside. That foul is going to be on Sedona Prince. That'll be her 2nd. Una Jovanovic set to check back into the lineup.
TC foul, Sedona Prince, her 2nd foul. 2nd on the team.
And that'll be the 2nd team foul. And at the line, it's going to be Morgan Hill. Spent a year at University of Louisiana Monroe, or as they like to call it, Louisiana. Actually played in the Texas State title game back in 2020. Big-time scorer in high school. 4 20-point games for Morgan Hill in high school.
And when we talked to Coach G, she's really was, high on her, but needing consistency from her specifically.
Right.
But that's been kind of the theme for the team as well, is just needing them to be consistent.
Una can't get the 3. Bayman running the offense. Natalie Mazurek will check into the lineup for the first time tonight. Next break in the action. We go inside of 3:35 to play in the 4th.
See Agnes Imanopu down there really fighting in the paint.
You're not going to get around Sedona on that. Going Van Lith quickly down the floor. Una, that's going to be a foul. I thought it might be a travel. How quickly she moved. But the foul's going to be on Melinda Winston. That'll be her first. Sedona Prince is going to go out of the lineup. She finishes with 12 points. And 5 rebounds. Una can't get the 3. Texas State will have it. 3:06 to play. Kanisha Godfrey will check into the lineup for the first time also.
For TCU.
saw the starters play about 3+ quarters. Madison Connor is going to go out. 12 points in the ball game, 4 of 9 from beyond the arc.
And you talked about earlier as far as, how deep he's going into the lineup, but other players do need to get the consistency and the time as well, because he doesn't want any drop-off when he, brings in rotations.
Jovanovic puts up her hand on defense. Good job, and here comes Haley again. Haley Van Lith, 1 assist away from another double-double. Plenty of time on the shot clock at 15. Bailey trying to use that right arm, get a little space. Could this be the assist? No, we have a whistle and an injured player down. Looks like Melinda Winston.
Oh, it looks like her teammate just fell into her.
Yeah. Coach Antoine, who played at Colorado State. She's excited for former Colorado State assistant coach, who's now the general manager, Kurt Miller of the Dallas Wings. Kurt. Then you look at Becky Hammond. She was an assistant at Colorado State, same time. Something about that Colorado State water, I guess. I don't know.
Something about it reads really good basketball mind.
Yeah. Now Winston's going to go walk off. Getting a little bit of help. 2:27 to play in the ball game, and of course Texas State will get on the bus and head back to San Marcos right after the contest. And Texas State will have the ball. On top, good ball movement, closing in on 2 minutes to play in the ball game. Hill, no.
He'll try to use her quickness to get around Deasia Merrill, because they wasn't able to finish.
Haley Van Lith, 17 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. Hangs in the air, no. Back to Haley again. 1:40 to play in the ball game. Deasia Merrill, no. Mazurek drops the 3. Mazurek with the 3, her first in a TCU uniform, was 0 for 3 prior to that. And Haley Van Lith is going to go out 1 assist shy. And we'll take a break with 1:25 to play in the ball game. Once again, 1:25 to play. Next game will be Sunday afternoon here inside the Schollmeyer Arena. Number 13, North Carolina State will come to town. That'll be at 2 o'clock. You can see it on ESPN. Second game in a row, the Horned Frogs have hit 16 three-pointers. Wow.
That's amazing, just to be known as a three-point shooting team and to be hot early.
Ramey, no place to go, has to give it up to Bayman. 1 minute to play, foul's going to be called. TCU has been consistent scoring in this basketball game. mean, 21, 25, 26. This has been the lowest scoring quarter at only 14.
And they've gotten from a lot of different players, you know, Sedona Prince in double figures, Taylor Bigby, Madison Connor, Haley Van Lith in double figures, Aaliyah Robinson in double figures. It's team basketball.
Absolutely. Here's Kanisha Godfrey. Missed last season because of injury. Started out with Vic Schaefer at Mississippi State. Making her presence felt in the first 2 games defensively. Merrill inside. Off the glass, count it.
One thing Coach Mark Campbell talked about as far as Deasia Merrill is she has that strength that you're looking for. You know, as Natalie is able to pick and pop, Sedona is kind of a mix between the two, he said, but she's just really, really strong there in the post. And so being able to have that different type of player from Sedona in the post is helping with the versatility of TCU.
And you throw in Natalie Mazurek in there, kind of a post player. You got 3 5s.
Exactly. That all kind of do something a little bit different.
KG tries to get to Merrill with 18.9 to play. Knocked out. TCU will have it. And again, TCU, they love the non-conference games. This will be their 18th straight non-conference win. Merrill again coming off a 6-point effort versus New Orleans. She's got 4 tonight. And that's going to do it. Will not count. So TCU shoots 54%. They hit 16 3-pointers for the 2nd game in a row. And they win it 90-31, and their non-conference streak continues. Good tune-up, though, I think.